Okay, so this is going to be a short tutorial on funnel marketing using funnels in different segments. If you could just spend a few minutes with me here, I'll go through each one of the sections of how we build out funnels and how you should be thinking about your funnels based off the psychology and the history we've had of success with building the proper methodology around why patients make decisions, how to help them make decisions, and how to use funnels properly. So let's start with a basic client. So here's a med spa in northern New Jersey. They're doing incredibly well given the constraints that we have based off of the state restrictions. But we have a lot of activity being generated from them because of the funnel marketing that's going on behind the scenes. As you can see, there's a landing page here with an offer. And these are the beginning steps of a funnel. So let's take a look at the anatomy of a funnel real quickly. And then let's go into looking at how this is happening. So first thing we're going to do is just open up an idea of how funnels work. So if you look at Google ads or Facebook ads, email marketing, organic social media, or even standard search engine optimization or standard search, they typically either go to two different places. So if it's a general search, so someone's making a search locally, they go to the website typically because that's the first thing they'll find if they find it in Google Maps, or they find it through a simple post that is posted out in social. And these end up going to the website. Same thing with Google ads and Facebook ads. However, we direct them to a landing page because we know that if we can get them specifically to the psychological attributes of a good landing page, the chances of conversion go higher. And we predetermined the strategy on these landing pages with an offer and with an eloquent way of trying to get the customer to accept the offer and give us their information. Once they have either hit the website or they've hit the landing page and they are interested in the offer, there'll be a thank you page that will basically confirm, and that's your conversion page, right? So that once they've hit the thank you page, thank you for taking the offer. Let's say it was 10% off or 15% off or $50 off or $100 off or get this free booklet. I mean, there's probably 1,000 different ways to put offers out there. But what we're really interested in is what happens afterwards. Now, ideally in the medical space is once they have a thank you page presented to them, on that thank you page, it will ask them for the next step, which is we want them to make an appointment, right? We want them to book. So if they book, they go to the conversion, again, thank you page, which will then put them into the requested, consult requested, which puts them into the main pipeline for requested confirmations of appointments. Again, if they do not book, let's say they just get the offer and they decide not to book, then they go into the sequencing. Same thing over on this side, where if they've just come from a natural environment where they haven't come off a landing page, they're just coming to the website, the same thing will happen. They will go into a page that will allow them to go into the different types of funnelization, which you'll see next. Just hang with me for a few minutes as we get down the pipeline. So let's say they don't book, whether they've come through the page of our normal or the national sort of base. I guess what we've seen nationally, what's been working the best is that we will drive them into the initial new client, new lead funnel. And we found that day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, we are going to be sending them email, SMS, and phone call if the particular practice allows phone calls directly out to patients. Some practices don't want us to do that, to hook up all three. They just want the SMS and email to recognize that the patient has obviously connected. And again, all these secondary triggers are to get them to go to a consult schedule. And so you can see that each day, if there's no response, they continue to get these messaging. And each one of these SMS and emails are a little bit different. They're a little bit more varied as you go down the chain. And as you get down the chain, we understand that the last one will be a voicemail. So we can send a voicemail prompt to say, hey, this is your last opportunity to claim this offer. Please call us. And again, if they do not respond by then, we know that they may be not either interested or they just aren't ready yet. So we'll put them into a 12-month nurture, which means that we're putting them into a longer cycle or a mid-cycle nurture chain. And we're going to see some of those examples in a minute. But anyways, if they do respond, and they say, okay, yes, I did claim this offer and I'm ready to book. So they come through one of the secondary responses that are being sent to them. We can then see that they go to hot lead status. So they move from new lead to hot lead. And again, they're asked to either book at that point, or they're actually asked at that point if they want to go into a secondary funnel. So if they respond not to book, they again go into the long-term nurture. And we're going to see that in a minute. Again, if the whole game plan here is that once they come through, we just want to get them into the scheduling and they become a scheduled consultation. And once they purchase a service, you can move them to the finalization of a one patient, or marked as a one patient. So let's take a look at what that looks like inside. Here's the actual client. So if we go to their Facebook page, let's just pretend we're going through this whole environment. We're going to take a look at one of their ads, and we're going to just go right through the whole process. So here's a bunch of ads. You can see the videos, before and afters. Okay, let's limited offer, $50 off. So we're going to sign up. Okay. So here's the landing page. We're coming through the landing page. Now, if I claim this discount, I'm not going to claim this discount right this second, but I'm going to show you what will happen. Again, here's the landing page. So let's say I just claimed the discount. Now I'm going to be put into the opportunity funnel. So let's take a look at if I come through. We'll pretend I'm the first person in the opportunity. So here's the new leads that have come from that landing page. So you can see here's Juana Young Bird, and we can see that her information came in. It was literally claimed 10 minutes ago. As I'm doing this, we're literally seeing people book. So now, if she continues to go through and claims a time on the schedule, this will be then moved over to consult scheduled. Now, it does that automatically, but you can move these manually. And if it was only a new lead that did not book, but they responded back to one of the sequences, they would go over to hot leads. And then obviously you'd want to contact those people as quickly as possible. Now, what we're really concentrating here on is the campaign and the offers within that campaign and the long-term nurtures, because we're going to show what those look like. So in this particular claim for this $100 sequences, as we saw before, there's an instant SMS, and we can see 90% of those people get a response. So you get almost 90% will then see this, and then they'll go and look at their phone. And what happens next is the email will go out too. And you can see, again, all these are coming in as deliverables, and almost 40% open that first email. And you can see that the email is very simple. And again, we could open this up if we want to see what this looks like. Again, all of these emails have specific criteria that has worked. We know that videos work well in emails because people listen to people speaking. They like to hear. There's almost like a self-concatenating suggestion that if you don't listen to it, you're missing out. And people don't like to miss out. They like to fill the gaps. So you can see each one of these emails has a different engagement, and you can customize these. You can see now we've got more of a teamwork, hey, let's get this done type of scenario. So each one of these emails or SMSs that's going out has a little different flavor. Again, we look at this as the opportunity to be creative. So when we start thinking about the language and the opportunities, we always think about different ways to look at the strategy. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that because when you look at the different campaigns, so there's a bunch of different campaigns here. There's a no-show sequence, a not ready, appointment reminders, long-term nurture. So this is your longer term. So let's take a look at what's going on. So these are the people who have decided that they don't want to initially come in. And you can see the open rates are 25%, 32%. By the fourth month, the open rate is 60%. So it's actually going up. And we can see, I think these examples are also going to show you some flexibility because all these are customizable, which is really cool. So you can see now we have, in this particular case, they're talking about getting new facials. And this is a cool sculpting one that shows a different environment for this. So sort of spreading out different types of ideas, sort of giving the customer a panoply of different opportunities. Again, depending on what they're looking for, you can try and concatenate different scenarios. So a crossbreed that's going out every 10, 30 days here out to those customers who maybe were not ready yet, but are now getting into the funnel and getting a little deeper down the funnel. And again, these go on for 12 months until they click that they want to come in, and then it sets off those other sequences for the tight midterm and short-term complex funnels where we're sending out, again, like we saw before, where we have a whole set of different sequences that are now going to get them to book. So our whole goal is to get them to the booking calendar. So this shows you a little bit of the flexibility of building out campaigns. It also gives you an idea of response rates and also gives you an idea of follow-up systems. The best thing always, as I said before from the very beginning, is if you can get a phone call immediately out to the people who are interested. So once they come from a landing page and they go into the first initial funnel, we can trigger a phone call immediately. We always like that. Or you can call them directly, which is always going to be the best bet because you're actually going to get somebody on the line and have a physical conversation with them. And that's where the conversion happens a lot for a lot of medical practices, including med spas. So I hope this helped you understand a little bit about funnels, a little bit about the customization, a little bit about midterm, long-term, and short-term funnels. All of these are all customizable with each individual section so that when you're looking at these different types of funnels and the different types of opportunity strategies, everyone's a little bit different on how they set these up, but we like to set these up to make sure that people use them efficiently so they can maximize the spend they have for the different types of carriers, whether it's Facebook, Google, or even using any other type of scenario that's out there for lead capture. Hope this helped. Talk to you soon.